Hey first grade, today is your very first math lesson. Are you excited? Because I am. Now, my kiddos know me, it's Mrs. Gordon, but if you're in Mrs. Forston's class and you don't know me, I'm Mrs. Gordon, I'm another first grade teacher, and I'll be doing all of our math lessons this week. So let's jump right into it. I'm sure you're probably excited to learn because I know I'm excited to teach. You ready? So here's the two things you need today in order to be successful in today's lesson. You're gonna need a piece of paper and a pencil. Paper and pencil. So here's what I want you to do. If you don't have those items right now, pause Mrs. Gordon. If you press the space bar, that will pause the video, and then when you have those materials, come back, press that space bar again, and the video will play. So I'm gonna give you a second. Go ahead, pause this video if you need those materials. Okay, so for my friends that do have our materials, you have everything, let's get going. So I like to start my math block off with a number of the day. So in today's number of the day, let's do the number 58. So for the number 58, I need you to tell me today how many tens and how many ones are in the number 58. So I'm going to give you just a minute to work on this. And this should just be a quick jot. Write down the number 58, how many tens, and how many ones are in that number. So if you're kind of feeling stuck, let Mrs. Gordon help you out. So what I do with my kiddos is I have them underline the tens place first. We like to start with biggest and then work our way to smallest. So underline your tens place and label it. Underline your ones place and label it, and that should help you find your answer of how many tens and ones there are. I'm gonna give you about 30 more seconds to work on this, and then we're gonna do it together. Okay, friends, we are ready now to get started on our number of the day. So let's start first by labeling the number 58 by how many tens and ones are here. So which is the tens place for the number 58? Is it the 5 that has the tens? Or is it the 8 that has the tens? So you should have said that the 5 is in the tens place. Let's move on to the 8. So if we have the number 58, would H be also the tens place, or is this the ones place? Okay, I hope you said ones. So if we're gonna fill out our answer here, we've labeled how many tens and ones. That means that in the number 58, we have 5 tens, and it has 8 ones. So that is how we got the number 58. If you did an awesome job on this, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back for getting our number of the day. Beautiful, friends. Okay, give Miss Gordon just 1 second. I gotta grab our marker. Okay, so now I need your attention to be back here behind Mrs. Gordon, and I will scoot you up. Okay, so we are going to be starting today with comparing numbers. Now this is something that we've worked on in both Mrs. Gordon and Mrs. Forston's class, but it's a little bit different than it was before, so make sure you're paying close attention. So I have 2 sets of numbers right here. We're going to look just at the top right here. So there's a set of numbers here, and there's a set of numbers here, and I need to know which set is greater. So greater means bigger. Of these two sets of numbers, which one is the biggest set of numbers? I'm going to give you just a second so that you can draw out my picture here. And I also want you to draw a little line below each of them so that you can record your answer. Go ahead and do this now, please. So we're drawing both of our quantities here. We're going to draw our circles here, put a line, draw some more circles over here, and put a line there for me. Okay, I hope you have those drawn. If not, feel free to pause Miss Gordon for a second if you're still drawing. Now, you have both of your numbers drawn. Now, I need us to count them together. So taking your pencil, just like Miss Gordon is using this marker, we're gonna count how many is in each set. So let's start over here, counting with Miss Gordon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're counting with me. 6, 7, 8. Okay, did you get the same answer as Miss Gordon? Did you count 8 circles over in our first set? I hope so. So let's go ahead and write the number 8 on that first line. Okay, now we still have a whole nother set of numbers that we need to count over here. So we're gonna do the same thing, except this time, I wanna see if you can do it on your own. So go ahead and count up how many circles are here and put your answer there on that line. Go ahead, Miss Gordon, we'll give you a minute. Okay, if you're still working, feel free to pause Mrs. Gordon. So I'm gonna count these now, and I want you to count with me and make sure we got the same answer, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you get the answer 5? Okay, double check, make sure you have 5. You might have drawn an extra circle or forgotten one. So now let's look at our picture here and compare both numbers. So we counted over here and we got 8. We counted the amount of circles in this set and we got a number 5. So we still need to answer our question here. It wants to know which set of numbers is greater or which set of numbers is bigger. So when you find that answer, I want you to circle whichever one you think is the bigger set. I'm gonna give you about 15 seconds because I think you're gonna be able to find out really quick. Go ahead, which set of numbers is bigger? All right, so here's how Mrs. Gordon would go about solving this. I'm gonna look at my picture here, and I counted 8 over on the left side, and I counted 5 over on the right side. So if I also look at my picture and compare the amount of circles, I can tell that this set is bigger. So that means 8 is bigger than 5 because if I look here, there's way more circles than there are over here. So this has to be my bigger number. If you got the answer right and you did it the same way, give yourself a pat on the back. That means you can compare numbers. Awesome job, my friends. Okay, I also have a different kind of problem. Now this one looks much different than our first one, so have your eyes and ears open. Okay, here we go. This next problem says, okay, what if you have 2 tens and you have 5 ones. 2 tens and 5 ones. And the question this time is, which set is smaller? Oh, this is a little bit different than what we were just doing, so be paying attention. If you have 2 tens and 5 ones, which set is smaller? I'm gonna give you a really big hint on how to solve this. I hope you're listening. If it was Mrs. Gordon, I would draw out tens and ones so that I could see a picture like we had a picture up here. But that's how I would do it, okay? Go ahead and draw your picture to find out which is bigger. Which is smaller, 2 tens or 5 ones? Which one's smaller? Go ahead and draw that. Okay, so I've given you a few seconds to get that drawn. Let's go ahead and draw this together now. So let's start with the 2 tens. If this was Mrs. Gordon's, I would just draw my 2 tens like this, okay? Each line here means 10, so count with Miss Gordon. How many do we have here? 10 plus 10 is 20. So that means I have 20 over here as my number. So 2 tens, which is 10 plus 10, is 20. Let's go ahead and do our 5 ones together. Count with Miss Gordon. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Okay? Let's look at our picture here. Over here we have 2 tens, and in this picture we have 5 ones over here, which is the same as the number 5. And let's look back to that question that it originally asked. Which set is smaller? Which set is smaller? I'm going to give you a minute and I want you to circle the smaller set. Go ahead. All right, let's see if you got the same answer as Mrs. Gordon. So I'm gonna talk about this and I'm gonna think out loud. So over here I have 10, 20. I have 2 tens, which is the number 20. And over here it says I have 5 ones. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm comparing the number 20 to the number 5. So the smaller number would be 5. So I'm going to circle this set over here. So once again, if you got that one correct, also give yourself a pat on the back. That means you're really trying so hard. Okay, I have a couple other things I want to show you and see if you can compare them for me. Okay. So Mrs. Gordon is going to show you some objects that we can compare. Not only can we compare numbers, we can compare how tall people are, we can compare blocks, you can compare cars. There's so many different things in the world that you can compare by size or by how much they're worth. So I have 2 shapes here. You should know which shapes these are, I would hope. This is a hexagon. This is a triangle. Look very closely. I need you to tell me which shape is smaller. Which is the smaller shape? You should be able to tell me this right away. You should be screaming at me, Miss Gordon, Mrs. Gordon, it's the triangle. So the triangle is the smaller shape. I'm gonna give you a little bit trickier of a one. I was just trying to warm you up with this one, okay? Let's keep going. Now, Mrs. Gordon has a set of dice. So we use dice when we play games or for other kind of board games too. So let me pick a couple of numbers on my dice. Okay, I have 2, ready? Look closely. I have 2 numbers on my set of dice here. Can you look just at the circles and count them for Miss Gordon? Count how many is in each dice here. Okay, so in this die, how many did we have on here? How many dots? Yeah, we had 2 dots, so this is worth 2. How many dots were on this die? 5. We had 5 on this one and 2 on this one. So now I'm gonna ask a different question, so make sure you're listening. Which is smaller? Which one is worth less? This one or this one, the 5 or the 2, which is worth less? It would be the 2, because if we can compare 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our 2 is smaller. Okay, I have a couple more that are a little bit more challenging. Here we go. Oh, I brought some money. Who does not love money? So I have a couple coins in here and I need you to tell me which one is bigger. Okay, here we go. Look at my coin here. Let me get that up here. Okay, here's my coin. Here's the front. Here's the back of my coin. My class, we should know the value of this coin. What is the name and how much is it worth? This is a quarter and it's worth 25 cents. Okay, so here's a quarter and it's worth 25 cents. And this coin, let's see here. Fix him. Okay, what is this coin? We should know this one too, friends. Here's the front. Here's the back. Okay, I hope you said a nickel. This is a nickel. And here's my next question. How much is a nickel worth? 1 nickel is worth 5 cents. So we have a quarter, which is worth 25 cents. And we have a nickel that's worth 5 cents. So can you tell me which one is bigger? Would you rather have a quarter or a nickel? Which coin is worth more? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Which one is worth more? Okay, I hope you said a quarter, because a quarter is worth 25 cents, whereas a nickel is only worth 5 cents. So this could buy you a lot more than 1 nickel. So a 25-cent quarter is worth much more than the 5-cent nickel, okay? That is all Mrs. Gordon has for this lesson today of comparing numbers. You guys did a fantastic job. And make sure you check your Seesaw assignment that goes along with this video, okay? Have a great day. Thanks for learning with me. Bye-bye.